Have you ever seen a new seasonal anime get mentioned online that seems interesting, so you pick it up only to find out that it's absolute shit? I know I have, and because I don't want you to make the same mistake as me, I watched the first couple episodes of most anime this season and placed them in 3 categories. Watch it, consider it, or drop it. Let's get right into it. Are You Lost follows 4 high school girls trying to survive on a deserted island after their plane crashes during a school trip. Sounds like a pretty interesting concept, but in practice it's more like anime Bear Grylls and her 3 idiot classmates who exist solely for fan service and weird camera angles. It's an easy watch since every episode is only 12 minutes, but it has no substance to it, the comedy isn't consistent, and the characters just aren't good enough to carry the show. Drop it. When the first episode gets more comments than upvotes, you know it's probably not very good. Remember when Shield Hero came out and everyone was like, oh my god, this is so edgy, ew. Well, Arifureta makes Shield Hero look like a cooked spaghetti. The dude gets betrayed and his arm chomped off, and then almost immediately turns into a wannabe Kaneki who goes, I'll kill everyone who gets in my way, like every other line. Oh, and don't forget that even though this is a fantasy world, he makes a gun and just one-shots everything. I don't know. Not that you would even know though, because the lighting is so dark that you can barely see anything that happens. There are a couple characters who seem okay, I'll give it that, but that's pretty much all it has going for it right now. Drop it. Picture this. Space travel isn't just possible, but commoditized and accessible to the point that schools have space camps for students. On one of those trips, the students, nearly all strangers to each other, ended up stranded in outer space with no food, water, or way to contact home. They have to band together and hop from planet to planet, never knowing what hostile creatures await them, or if they'll even be able to find enough supplies to continue. And on top of struggling just to survive, there may just be a traitor among them. Sound cool? Well, that's Astra Lost in Space in a nutshell. I can't say enough good things about it right now. This is an anime I think everyone should check out. Watch it. A buddy cop action flick between Kay, a gritty police officer who's a softie at heart, and Tilarna, a badass alien noble? That's a hell of a concept, and frankly a hell of a lot of fun to watch so far. Copcraft doesn't hesitate to throw our characters into the seedy underbelly of the world, and force them to deal with it head on, but the unlikely pairing leads to some great action and great buddy cop moments. Though the animation quality did dip a bit in episode 3, I'm hoping that was an exception rather than indicative of what's to come, because everything else, like the jazzy opening, has been pretty solid. Watch it. One morning, Yuko wakes up to discover that she's grown horns and a tail, and is actually a demon, a descendant of the Dark Clan, whose purpose is to defeat a magical girl named Momo, who coincidentally happens to be her classmate at school. Quite the morning. The concept isn't anything groundbreaking, and the show's not going to win any awards, but it does set up a fun, lighthearted comedy with some entertaining characters. If you like the humor in shows like Jashin-chan Dropkick, Gabriel Dropout, and Miss Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood, you'd probably enjoy The Demon Girl Next Door. Consider it. This is honestly better than I expected given all the shit I see it getting online. Is it a generic isekai? Yeah, but it's also kind of self-aware and ironic, which is kind of funny, and the main character has inner monologues that are like Ainz's from Overlord. You even have special guest appearances from Rem and Ram's little-known sister Rom, and Aqua's distant cousin Luna, who is equally as useless and bullyable. Demon Lord Retry isn't going to reinvent the wheel by any stretch of the imagination, and it's not even necessarily good, but what it is more entertaining than any of the other isekai this season, so if you're desperate for one, then this may do it for you. Drop it. When the show itself can't even be bothered to explain how things work, I think that should be indicative enough of the quality. Honestly, the characters have been pretty fun so far, aside from Masato being a douchebag in the first episode. But just take a look at this clip if you want an idea of what you're in for if you decide to watch this. Yeah. Drop it. Dr. Stone has arguably one of the coolest concepts I've seen in anime yet. In an unprecedented and catastrophic event, humanity is sent back to the Stone Age and nearly every living creature is petrified, with only a few emerging from their stone casings into this new world. The cast is good so far, even if Taiju screams about everything, and even if Senku for some reason feels the need to obnoxiously say that he's 10 billion% sure of everything, from what 1 + 1 is, to whether I have shit taste in anime. They really made me consider dropping it in the first couple episodes, I'm not gonna lie. But As the cast has grown, they've also toned down these annoyances, and I've gotten really engaged in the characters and their story. Watch it. Fire Force has been great so far. Written by the creator of Soul Eater and with an anime adaptation handled by David Production, best known for JoJo, the series is in good hands and that's shown immediately. The animation and sound design are amazing, with action scenes being an absolute treat to watch and character designs that pop out. The story is also pretty intriguing. Set in a world in which humans are susceptible to spontaneous human combustion, turning them into burning monsters called Infernals, an organization called the Fire Force is built to extinguish the Infernals and determine the cause of this phenomenon. Shinra, the main character, joins the Fire Force to investigate a mysterious fire that claimed the lives of his mother and brother years ago, and save others from a similar fate. Unnecessary fan service aside, this has been engaging from the get-go. Watch it. There are a lot of anime this season, but Given is the only one that I feel has done romance right so far. Even though it's only a few episodes in, it's hitting all of the right beats and I'm enjoying all of the characters quite a bit. The music-heavy setting is also a great one to tell a story in, as the music itself doesn't just serve as a good basis for the soundtrack, but is also a driving force for the characters and plot progression. The best comparison I can draw would be to take some of the good parts of Your Lie in April, Kids on the Slope, and Sounds of Life, mix them together, make it gay, and then let it stew. Watch it. Hear me out on this one. It's Fate, but instead of masters, it's magical girls, and instead of servants, it's mechs. Oh, but they're still fighting in a battle royale where only one can emerge victorious. Though, instead of fighting over the Holy Grail, they're fighting for the right to become an extremely powerful mage. While not the most original concept, this has been a lot more fun than I initially expected it to be, and the animation and sound design have both been fantastic so far. Consider it. Well, I think reading the title is probably sufficient to tell you all you need to know about the show. I mean, I would say it's simultaneously both the best and worst title I've ever heard for an anime, but, you know, to each their own. Anyway, basically Keiki finds a love letter that includes a pair of panties for some reason, I don't know, anime. He tries to figure out who it is and narrows it down to a masochist, a sadist, and a fujoshi. To give the show some credit, Keiki is like a discount Sakuta and the girls have good character designs. But even with that, I wasn't particularly engaged after a few episodes. If you like fanservice heavy rom-coms with a twist, you may enjoy it, but otherwise I can't recommend it. Drop it. This is the perfect anime to make me feel bad about myself as I lay in bed in the dark watching anime until 1 a.m. after having had Taco Bell for dinner. Just what I always wanted! Dumbbell is a comedy about some girls going to the gym and working out, and actually features tips on how to do the exercises that they do in the show. Though these training bits can feel a bit excessive, the characters are fun and they get a few good jokes in each episode. As long as you don't mind the ecchi aspects to it, you could probably get some good entertainment out of this. And the opening's a banger. Consider it. I'm gonna be honest, the trailer for this did not grab my attention at all, so I wasn't expecting too much, but holy shit. Latina is the cutest thing that I have seen in anime since Ushio, and I would die for her. If I see a single one of you degenerates loot her, so help me God, I will find you, and I will kill you. But I'm sure that no one would even think... What the f***? Are we watching the same show? That's a joke, right?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Consider it. Welcome to Isekai Cheat Magician, the newest Isekai anime, starring Kirito from Sword Art Online, Asuna from Sword Art Online, and Lifa from Sword Art Online. Taking place in a totally original city that isn't also the exact same city as Konosuba, Shield Hero, and Wise Man's Grandchild. Featuring an opening by Mythenroid, also known for their openings for ReZero, Overlord, and Saga of Tanya the Evil. Look, it's in the name of the damn show. This is a completely average isekai through and through. If you like mid-tier isekai, you'd probably like this, and if you don't like isekai, then stay away. Though I will say that I'm happy it seems like the childhood friend is probably the winner in this one. Drop it. Season 2 pits Hestia and Bel against the Apollo Familia in what the gods deem a war game, with Bel's freedom at stake. The episodes feel more intense this time around, and there's a lot more human-on-human action and less dungeon crawling compared to Season 1. And despite it being JC staff, the animation is actually good? This makes me more upset about One Punch Man and Food Wars. Regardless, the soundtrack is still good, the characters are still fun, and Hestia is still best girl. If you liked Season 1, then you should like this, and if you haven't watched Season 1, then you should give that a look and then check this out. Watch it. Lord El-Melloi II's Case Files is the closest thing that we're going to get to a Sherlock Holmes type story set in the Fate universe, and if you ask me, that's pretty damn cool. But as this is a Fate anime, you will need knowledge of about 17 other anime, 4 movies, 7 visual novels, 4 video games, the mobile game, and 5 books. Okay, actually just Fate Zero, but you get the point. Seeing an adult Waver be the protagonist as he investigates the various cases surrounding the clock tower has been a treat so far, especially considering that I'm a sucker for detective and mystery style stories. And of course, you have your obligatory Saberface character, who's a badass in combat, and cute outside of it. All in all, while I'm really enjoying this, I can't wholeheartedly recommend it to everyone. If you're a fan of the Fate franchise and its characters, like mystery, and don't mind a slower pace, then you should watch it. But if you haven't already gotten into Fate or only care for the action, then this isn't for you. Consider it. Magical Sempai follows a magician trying to do magic, with the catch that she actually sucks at magic and constantly ends up in situations where we laugh at her misfortune and inability to do anything right. Kinda reminds me of myself. This is actually funnier than I anticipated it being, and is really propelled forward by the voice actors' great performances so far. The short episodes at 12 minutes each make it even easier to watch, and the episodes feel like they fly by. As long as you're okay with a bit of fan service here or there, then this is a comedy that's worth checking out. Watch it. Araburu is another anime this season that surprised me. It's a coming-of-age story about 5 girls that seems to promote a more realistic portrayal of teenage sexuality, and all of the curiosity, emotions, clumsiness, and drama that come along with it. And while I was initially impressed with the first few episodes, I do worry about the direction that the show may take. Given the current character relationships and subject matter, I can't say I would be surprised at all if there was some aggravating drama or love triangle to come. While I would definitely recommend it based on what I've seen so far, I feel like if you're on the fence, then a wait-and-see approach is probably more befitting, just to determine the direction that it ends up taking. Consider it. In multiple ways, The Ones Within kind of reminds me of Danganronpa. It features a group of students, all Let's Players who are masters of a specific genre of game, much like Danganronpa's Ultimate students who all had a talent. These students are kidnapped and forced to play a real-life game, with an implication that their lives could depend on the outcome, like Danganronpa's Killing Game. The characters are varied, and many seem like they're hiding something, much like Danganronpa's cast. And of course, they are being watched over, you could say, by a man wearing an alpaca head, which is reminiscent of Monokuma. Now, maybe it's because I love Danganronpa and I'm seeing some resemblances, but I found myself really enjoying these first few episodes, and I'm interested in seeing where it goes. This doesn't feel like it's going to be great, but it does seem like it will be pretty entertaining and over the top, especially if you like death games and mystery. Consider it. Thus far, To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts kind of reminds me of Fairy Gone, but with a better execution. Mythical soldiers called incarnates, which are human and beast hybrids, are created and used to win a war. Afterwards, they're cast aside and viewed with suspicion as they're liable to lose sight of their humanity and go berserk. Our main character, Hank, goes around to put each one down before they do lose that bit of humanity. So every episode basically features a new Nina Tucker getting killed every day. Oh, why am I crying? Though it's only been a few episodes, I am intrigued to learn more about the characters and see where the story goes. Consider it. Vinland Saga is a brutal revenge story set during a time in which the Vikings dominated. Our main character, Thorfinn, spends his childhood on the battlefield honing his skills in order to exact vengeance upon the man who killed his father. Oh, did I mention that it's being done by Studio Wit, fresh off the best season of Attack on Titan yet? The action scenes are fantastic and the art is gorgeous. Vinland Saga, despite being only 4 episodes in out of the promised 24, isn't just an early contender for anime of the season, it's already an easy contender for anime of the year. Watch it. Yet another school-based comedy with main characters Woda, an otaku, Robo, an emotionless girl interested in science, and Baka, an idiot. The comedy is often hit or miss, but the jokes that were hit were definitely good, spurred on by some solid voice acting all around. The opening is a lot of fun too and is very catchy. If you enjoyed the comedy in shows like Daily Lives of High School Boys, Nichijou, or Asobi Asobase, then you may enjoy this. Consider it. And that wraps up pretty much all the summer 2019 seasonals. I hope that you were able to find something that you found interesting. Be sure to let me know in the comments or on Twitter what you think of the summer 2019 season so far. And if you want more content like this in the future, subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching my video, and until next time.